You know, I went to my man, Derek Taylor, in the details, who tells me Jerome Messam has been hit behind the line of scrimmage on running plays 13 times in his first 48 carries, almost twice as much as any other back in the league.
Four-man rush. Ball is loose. Messam picks it up as the Riders get a hand on Bo Levi Mitchell as he was getting ready to launch. Toby Antiga, newcomer to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a former wide receiver in college.
Well, that's kind of the theme of the Roughriders defensive end rotation, of course. Antiga, Willie Jefferson, and A.C. Leonard all at some point into their college careers lined up as receivers before becoming defensive linemen.
Rob Maver. Near the 40-yard line is brought down there. Tunde Adeleke drops Nick Dembski. Well, close practices this week for both the Calgary Stampeders and Chris Jones, Saskatchewan Roughriders. With more on that, let's go to the sideline and join Jermaine Franklin.
Yeah, that's right, Rod. You know what? It's always interesting when the Riders come to town. The Stampeders were on high alert. They were heavily securing the perimeter of McMahon Stadium just in case anybody wanted to steal any of their plays. Now, it was the same thing in Riderville. In Regina, they did the same thing, securing their stadium, making sure there was no spies. I asked both coaches if they believe spying goes on, and Chris Jones totally believes that, so does Dave Dickinson, but both denied ever taking part in it. And when it comes to spying, Jones believes he's already been the victim of football espionage this year.
Well, very interesting. Subterfuge and secrecy in the CFL. Are you buying the spying?
I am buying the spying from the perspective that I often think that there's a little bit of a mentality in football at this level that if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Cameron Marshall, the first down for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. To that incomplete pass to Antoine Grant. Cameron Marshall with a 24-yard rumble, and tonight Kevin Glenn 116 yards from joining the 50,000-yard passing club. This will help.
It sure will. Nice quick hitter, free release for the running back. He had no blocking responsibilities there. Kevin Glenn knows those guys are coming free. He's just going to dump it basically into the space vacated by the linebackers. As you saw, plenty of open room in front of Cameron Marshall.
Grant and Glenn steps up and is brought down. Charleston Hughes, career sack number 90 as he returns to the lineup for the Calgary Stampeders, his second of the season.
Charleston Hughes, the stand-up position at defensive end. The spin move. He draws first blood, I suppose, against his former teammate. His trash talk partner this week, Derek Dennis.
Former teammate as well, and Kevin Glenn. Spin around, far side, Damon Roosevelt. Ciante Evans got to him first, well short of the first down. They'll get it to the 43-yard line, so the kick team comes out again. And will it be Tyler Crapigna, the field goal kicker? No, it will be Josh Bartell. So they're going to play for field position here with 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, kicking into the wind here.
And the wind's blowing tonight, Dwayne. Bartell looking for that corner. Line drive shot. Pretty good kick. A minute 43 to go in this opening quarter in a 10-0 game. Week 5 of the CFL on TSN concludes Monday. Showdown between the Red Blacks and the Argonauts. Action gets underway from BMO Field at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific across the TSN network and in 4K. And Doug Flutie bobblehead night. We'll be honoring him. It'll be a great Battle of Ontario that night, Monday night.
A big reunion night. The 96 and 97 Grey Cup teams are in town.
It is reunion time in so many cities for honoring Grey Cup champions. 12-yard line for Bo Levi Mitchell, and Jerome Messam bulldozes up to the 18. Sam Williams was there again. Piece of him, and then he was brought down.
A positive start for Jerome Messam in this Calgary Stampeders ground game. Everybody getting involved in that blocking scheme, offensive line, receivers, all aggressively getting after it at the line of scrimmage.
Messam, who wore the green and white in Saskatchewan, also played in Montreal, Edmonton, and BC. Really found a home here in Calgary. We'll get it back to him. Pounding the ground with Jerome Messam, and a first down. 7 yards this time.
Well, touched in the backfield here, but Jerome Messam at 250 plus pounds isn't going to be stopped by arm tackles. With a bowl and a china shop.
35 yards so far in this first quarter for Messam. Lines up in that pistol formation again. Clock ticking down here. Might be the final play of the opening frame. There he is, Jerome Messam. Left, Jerome Messam right, and Jerome Messam up the middle so far. Makes it a lot easier on second down when you've only got 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 3 thanks to your running game.
And Jerome Messam listed at 6'3", 254 pounds. From past experience, I suspect that Jerome may be playing even a little heavier than that, and regardless, at that size, just tackling him is going to take its toll on a defense.
They'll give it to him once more. There he goes. Three once more, another first down, and so Jerome Messam established on the ground in this opening quarter. Markway McDaniel also scoring. Started early football.
They're on fire! This is the way it's supposed to be.
The fans have been waiting a decade for this.
The Alouettes are rolling right now.
Did you see that?
Where would you rather be than watching some CFL football? Complete domination really from the Calgary Stampeders in that first quarter. Started in that opening drive that looked to be stopped after a 2-and-out. And the flag started flying, the challenge and the penalty. Next thing you know, they score and have a 10-0 lead. And you can see their rushing yards. And clearly, getting Jerome Messam involved has been the MO this week.
Yeah, it certainly has. Jerome Messam is critical to the Calgary Stampeders' success. People talk all the time about Bo Levi Mitchell in the passing game, but so many opportunities for them are created in the passing game because people have to respect the threat that this guy provides on the ground.
Messam went to the sideline after that last play of the first quarter. Looks like he's okay. Gonna get a quick blow over there and likely see him out there once more, but without Messam. Stamps line up to begin this second quarter here. Calgary has won 8 straight against Saskatchewan. 9 straight here at McMahon Stadium. Trying to keep the streak going. Roy Finch gets the ball, a touch from the backfield, and he's upended on the far side. 4 yards for the returner, the slot back / tailback. He is that typical, prototypical scat back.
Yeah, and there you get a glimpse of the change of pace that Roy Finch offers as immediately they go to a perimeter run with him, where obviously, given the size difference, the style difference, Messam is more of a between the tackles guy, whereas Finch, you want to get him the ball in space, as his kick return skills suggest.
Finch stays out. 2nd and 6, throwing down for Mitchell. Blitz now from the Riders, but there goes the ball, and look who's got it once more. He's still not touched. Markway McDaniel has to leap over the signage. What a terrific catch again from Markway McDaniel. Little juggling act behind cover, and Jeff Hecht had to make a play to get him out of bounds.
Well, Markway McDaniel Again, he's lined up at number 3. They've moved the nickel linebacker, Sam Williams, over to that side, and he's had his hands full with Marquay McDaniel. You've heard us talk in games earlier this season about how tough it is to play that nickel linebacker spot as a first-year CFLer. Sam Williams is feeling it right now.
Oh, and this one's picked off. Speaking of Sam Williams, doing a little dancing. That ball touched 2 bodies before it got into the midst of Sam Williams, who has his first CFL interception. The Riders force the turnover.
There you see Sam Williams. No sooner did we say he's having a tough time as he comes up with the biggest play thus far for the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense. Anthony Parker's on the crossing route. Ball is thrown a little bit behind him, unable to squeeze it on the deflection. Enoch Mwamba gets a piece of it. He's unable to grab it, but Sam Williams pulls it in for a big turnover for the Riders.
Riders look to turn this into some momentum now. Marshall goes nowhere, maybe a yard. Sam Williams, by the way, hails from a Division III school in Marshall, Texas, East Texas Baptist. And we'll always remember his first CFL interception comes here in Calgary tonight.
And the timing couldn't be better for Sam Williams, breaking up momentum that was really starting to get rolling for the Calgary Stampeders.
Kevin Glenn's been feeling some heat, though. Here comes the pressure again. Goes over the top, and Marshall, Cameron Marshall, powers his way up near the 50-yard line. Former star from Arizona State.
You've got to love the yards after contact for Cameron Marshall here. Kevin Glenn does a nice job, as he has throughout his career, standing and waiting for that one to come open. You see Cameron Marshall run through a couple of tackles before eventually being tracked down by middle linebacker Alex Singleton.
When last we saw him was 2015 in Winnipeg. Recorded 7 touchdowns for the Bombers that year. Spent time in the NFL last year. Glenn is going down and is hit hard. 38-year-old slow to get up as Charleston Hughes had him in his crosshairs. Glenn taking count of every body part here.
You know that Calgary's always going to move Charleston Hughes around, put him in different alignments. This time basically lined up as a linebacker. He's just hanging back, spying on the play, not rushing, as Kevin Glenn looks to step up. Hughes is there to meet him.
Second sack for Hughes tonight, 3rd for the Stamps. Relentless pressure right now. Look out! Hughes misses, and then Glenn throws it away. Otherwise, Charleston Hughes had the hat trick. Incomplete pass. And Charleston Hughes, you think he's been chomping at the bit here to try to get back in the lineup over the last couple of weeks, recovering from that knee issue?
Well, we talked about how he's going to move around. This time he's back to his defensive end spot. And again, gets Derek Dennis with that spin move. Back to the inside.
So the Riders cannot turn the turnover into points here. Josh Bartell now with the wind into the shadows. Roy Finch gathers it, and he's dropped near the 27-yard line. Charleston Hughes, pair of sacks already. Missed the last couple of weeks, and was he missed? Join us at the half tonight. GMC professional grade playbook. Henry Burris, future Hall of Famer, of course, and the Stampeders' all-time leading touchdown pass leader, on why returns go for TDs. That's coming up at the half with the boys in the studio. Much to talk about. Calgary Stampeders owning a 10-0 lead so far. Despite that interception, no harm done. Now Messam accelerates outside, and it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to bring him down.
Jerome Messam looking to demonstrate his versatility, deceptive speed for such a big dude. Great bounce to the outside. See Mike Edom kind of overran it, respecting the speed of Messam, making sure he got that outside leverage. Messam stopped on a dime to turn north-south.
8-yard gain, almost 60 yards already for Messam. Here he is again, this time going nowhere.
Yeah, big win then there for the Riders' defensive line.
Shakes his head this time. AC Leonard, one of those receivers turned D lineman.
Yeah, AC Leonard actually played as a receiver in the Canadian Football League a couple of years ago for the BC Lions. Sort of a tight end sort in their offense.
Rob Maver into the breeze now. Riders might get good field position here. Almost had it blocked. This angles and has some backspin. Nick Dembski will induce a no yards call. They'll add 5 to that. So the defense for the Stampeders doing a number so far here tonight, including, of course, number 39. With more on Charleston's return, let's go down to Jermaine.
Thanks, Rod. You know, Charleston Hughes and Derek Dennis know each other very well from practicing against each other all last season when Derek Dennis was a member of the Stampeders. Now, Hughes was in a radio interview and he said that he wasn't going to talk any trash this week, which shocked Dennis. So Derek Dennis tweeted Hughes and said, "Why would you be so unusually quiet?" Charleston Hughes just tweeted back saying, "I'll talk after I get my second sack this season." I'm assuming Charleston Hughes is doing a lot of talking, and it's a veteran move from one of the best veterans playing mind games with his younger friend.
Yes, indeed, and he is talking on cue, as a matter of fact, as Cameron Marshall gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. There's Derek Dennis, last year's most outstanding lineman in the CFL, wearing Calgary Stampeder colors.
And of course, Derek Dennis with the trademark hair matching the uniform, going from red to green. His dye job underneath that helmet this year.
Great matchup here watching Dennis and Hughes. There they are together. Passing down for Glenn. Stamps rush 3. Glenn, though, is down again. Vaughters again. Kevin Glenn just looked like he skidded to a stop. Very peculiar, and Vaughters was right there for an easy sack. So a pair for Vaughters and a pair for Charleston Hughes.
And, you know, this to me looks like a situation where the offensive line didn't understand what Kevin Glenn's launch point was going to be. You know, and it again shows the challenge of playing offensive line. We've talked about it before. The only position really in sports where you play with your back to the play.
Bartel, Finch, sandwiched hard. Mike Edom was down there, lower the boom. Vaughters and Hughes doing a number. 4 sacks tonight. Kevin Glenn under siege in a city he used to play in. Is caught.
Hey, how you put Netflix on? Put Netflix on.
From mic'd up players to behind the scenes, Netflix, TSN Go, CTV, TSN, whatever it may be. Catch it Tuesday on TSN, 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, across the TSN network. CFL Wired. Play doesn't get started. There's a flag that just flew over near the 32-yard line on the far side of the field.
Willie Jefferson stepped across
Offside.
for the Riders, but
Saskatchewan, number 7. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
Mar Jordan also was well into his route for the Stampeders.
So 1st and 5 now for Mitchell here, midway through the second quarter. They'll hand it off to Jerome Messam again. Thunders up near the 50-yard line. Well, Jerome Messam didn't get a chance to play a whole game last week. Making up for it this week so far.
Well, he sure is. A well-timed draw play for the Stampeders here. You see the Green Riders rush getting upfield as Messam heads the other way.
69 yards already for Messam. They'll give him the rock once more. And quite obviously, the message is being sent from the Stampeders to Messam and from Bo Levi Mitchell.
When you give him enough touches, that's when you start to see guys start to go at his ankles, start, you know, what we call eating turf. Basically just scared to tackle him. And that's when he starts making some big plays. But if you only give him the ball to him 4 or 5 times and it's very sporadically, there's a lot of gain tackling on and guys playing to the box more as you kind of see the run. So just allow him to get his touches, get out there and do what he does, and allow him to get confident.
Well, he is such an outlier in so many ways, Jerome Messam, unlike any other back in the Canadian Football League with that size. Mitchell now decides to throw, fires, and Jordan hauls it in. Sam Williams, the tackle down near the 36-yard line. These guys have got some chemistry this year, Dwayne.
Yeah, Kamar Jordan really came into his own in the final third of last season. It was interesting to hear Bo Levi Mitchell talk about it. His suggestion was that the guy that really gave Kamar Jordan a push was Bakari Grant, now with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but a veteran guy, a guy who would speak out and get after his teammates a little bit. And Kamar Jordan is a guy who first came up here with the Stampeders in 2013, strictly as a PR guy. Over the next 2 years, 14 and 15. 3 catches for a combined 13 yards before exploding last year.
Mitchell again, another dart like that to Kamar Jordan. And Jordan out of Bowling Green. Back in 2015, played 2 games for Calgary, but look at what he's done through last year and into this year, and the numbers, including in Montreal, despite the loss, and he has been captain clutch on 2nd down conversions.
Yeah, he
doesn't
sure
now
has.
this season.
Yeah, really emerging as a go-to guy. And there you saw the first 4 games of this season. You also add in the last 6 from last year. I mean, he was a guy, he played the first 2, sat out 10 consecutive games, and then was on fire the last 6 games in the regular season for Calgary.
2nd and inches automatic for